Welcome to another game from the IMBA Cup Supreme Commander Forged Alliance, and this is still round one, the third game between two players here, who are both Aeons. We haven't seen Aeon yet, and we have Deathly going first air. Two pigeons. You can see he is going to be very aggressive with the ACU. Actually, no, this is a move order from the Air Factory. And he's taking on Ubergeek here, who is also Aeon. Looks like he's going to go no pigeons, strictly Hydra. And you can see he's going to move with his ACU to help out the Hydra, then second air. So quick air from both players. And you can see first bomber from Deathly, as aggressive as he can possibly get. And you can see here, before the bomber even gets anywhere, Ubergeek is already making flag, so he's got to be anticipating this bomber. It's very strange how that happened, but it is going to be, yeah, there's still a kill, so an NG killed by Deathly. So Ubergeek could probably have guessed that a bomber was a very likely scenario. You can see here Hydro second land from Deathly. Got 3 NGs. And Deathly's ACU is going to the middle. You can see an NG from Ubergeek also going to the middle. So these two units are going to meet. Most likely Deathly's ACU is going to win that battle. See the plans for Ubergeek. He is using his ACU to build more land factories. You can see he's got a lot of pigeon spam as well. You can see a lot more land factories for Deathly as well. He does not have any NGs on pigeon spam yet. And here's this NG from Ubergeek running away from Deathly. And Deathly here probably does not have radar, and you can see he's only going to get half that wreck. You can see that NG got about half that wreck. And this NG is getting a lot of mass from that wreck. And here's actually another bomber from Deathly, but an interceptor from Ubergeek should be able to take care of this problem. And you can see Ubergeek not even going to the middle, but this is just ridiculous here. 2,000 mass that should not have been Ubergeek's. Deathly with his ACU, no radar, allowing that NG to live. And it looks like this NG is actually also going to get a mask extractor. So a hero NG from Ubergeek, and Ubergeek's ACU is moving over to the top base. He's going to claim that it's not going to be possible to prevent him from taking the top. Anti-air built by Deathly in the middle. So he feels like he needs to take... Actually, it's a nice placement of anti-air directly in the middle. A lot of paths between the two bases. So now Ubergeek is going to have to micro around that. Very good against T1 air. And here's a battle in the bottom base. 2 Auroras. And you can see our Aurora that has a radar with it is much more effective than our 2 Auroras. Here comes the radar for Deathly. So far, all the little things have gone Ubergeek's way. He took care of that first bomber. Then his NG in the middle was a very good NG here. Stole a lot of Deathly's mass and actually still running away. And it looks like Ubergeek is taking over the top and bottom. So in terms of map control, it's definitely swinging Ubergeek's way. If you look at Ubergeek's plan here, or Deathly's plan, he's still making more land factories. Got some PGen spam. Very similar for Ubergeek as well. You can actually see Ubergeek going T2 in his mass, and that's not surprising given how much mass he reclaimed here at 6 minutes. You can see Ubergeek has reclaimed 4,500, Deathly at 3,400, so 1,000 mass difference. Now you can see some adventurous tanks from Deathly ran into their death, left a couple more wrecks. And here that's a pretty massive force at this stage of the game for Ubergeek. Really not much chance for Deathly to take this back, and Deathly's ACU just sitting in the middle, not doing much. Still got 2 kills. You can see some T1 units moving in for support of the ACU. You can see here Ubergeek making some T1 PD to fortify this position, and actually some Auroras and some Arty moving into the area, and Ubergeek should just yeah, now he's going to use his ACU to get some kills. But here's the T1 PD, so that's going to be much more difficult for Deathly to try to take that. And now we have 6 kills for Ubergeek's ACU. He's also getting some mass for himself. This engine going to its death for Deathly. And here we got a fight on the other side. It's very even numbers now. It looks like Deathly is going to use his ACU to try to take back this bottom base to even out the mask extractor count. But we got to notice that in the middle, actually, Deathly is getting quite a few of these mask extractors for himself. So it's, even though he has lost the top base, is still fighting for the bottom. It should be pretty even in terms of the eco. Now we're seeing T2 land from Deathly. Some T2 engineers. Looks like he's going to get T2 power and the blazes. So blazes are amphibious, but they're still nice to micro and pretty quick to build. Let's see, we see multiple T2, 4 T2 mask extractors from Ubergeek. He also has T2 land. He's making flak and some TMD. And now we can see in terms of map control, Deathly is making progress and actually winning this part of the map, a lot of wrecks here, so you can really catch up on that 1,000 mass deficit. Ubergeek getting upgrades, 8 kills, and it looks like it's a gun upgrade, and he's going to get the second. So Aeon ACU with the 2 gun upgrades is definitely the best gun in the game, besides the gun that nobody ever gets from the Seraphim ACU. That's a little too expensive for what it does. And now you can see here T2 engineer from Deathly trying to establish a T2 PD in the middle, but that was wishful thinking. You can see a massive force from Ubergeek just runs that over, but he's going to run into some blazes. But still, a lot of Auroras here can actually effectively fight against blazes. But it looks like, yeah, now Auroras are going to pull back, maybe try to use their range a little bit. We do have this force from Deathly that he is moving in, but it doesn't look like he has numbers. Really, in terms of production, a lot more tanks from Ubergeek so far. And here come the shields as well as Obsidian, so this is now going to be a T2, T1 force, and this shield is going to make that T1 so much stronger. We see a couple blazes coming into the middle for Ubergeek, and actually Ubergeek taking the middle back from Deathly. You can see he's got NGs reclaiming, and no more mask extractors for Deathly in the middle. And here comes Ubergeek's ACU, 9 kills. He's got both guns, and he's going to get the shield. So Aeon ACU really is, its only weakness when it gets to guns is the health versus some of the other ACUs, but now with the shield, that's going to be a very powerful weapon for Ubergeek. So while that's happening, you can see the ACU for Deathly is walking around. He's got a couple NGs reclaiming mass and some T2 tanks trying to push against Ubergeek. And now we see T2 PD for Deathly trying to protect his base, but you can see this gun from Ubergeek already has 17 kills. T2 power is going to be a very big loss for Deathly if Ubergeek can kill it, and it looks like he will be able to. He has now lost his shield. He's got some T2 flak, some Auroras, and actually these T2 PD is doing a good job defending, but Ubergeek making a very good attack here. Actually snuck in some units, going to kill some T1 mask extractors. We do see some T2 mask extractors from Deathly as well, so both players doing quite a bit of teching here at minute 12. Ubergeek taking out quite a bit of power from Deathly, so a good attack from Ubergeek, now sitting at 34 kills. But elsewhere it looks like Ubergeek is also doing quite well. That force from Deathly from a little while ago is dead. It's left a couple of really nice mass chunks here, and now it's a pretty massive T1, T2 force with a shield moving through the middle. For Ubergeek, it is now going to attack the base here. It is protected by some T1 PD. It looks like Ubergeek is moving in on Deathly's main base. Deathly retreating with his ACU to his main base. So you can see map control is shifting in Ubergeek's favor. Ubergeek has retreated to his expansion. Still got that shield protecting. And you can see here basically Obsidian spam from Deathly at this point. He still has a T2 power, and he's going to have to try to defend his base, but it's a nice place to defend. It doesn't look like he has any upgrades on his ACU, and here the Obsidians are moving in. An overcharge here would be very nice from Deathly. And here is the T2 PD, should be able to protect the spot quite nice. And elsewhere we see this base for Deathly is going to be ran over. You can see some arty here has taken out T1 PD, and there's really nothing that Deathly can do except lose a lot of these NGs. These NGs are running into an enemy force and getting killed. But good defense here from Deathly. And actually we're seeing T2, we're seeing Mercies. Yeah, Mercies, of course both players using Aeon. And you can see here Ubergeek, he has just scouted Deathly's factory, and he has seen the Mercies, and we are seeing Ubergeek placing quite a few units between him and actually now it looks like Deathly won't even attempt to use those Mercies. Really no chance to get Ubergeek here. He's got T1 onto air, and he's got his ACU under a shield. He has lost most of the map, and it looks like he just did not want to fight anymore. He probably could have held out for a couple more minutes at his base, but his time was limited. Let's see what Ubergeek had. Very nice base here, going almost T3 with land, multiple T2 power, making swift wins. So he would have had total air domination. He would have had T3 land. So very well played by Ubergeek in a 15-minute game here. So hope people enjoyed this one.